Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you all. Hope you're having a good day so far, and I'll be in around lunchtime today. So we're going to do some math today. If your sub didn't already tell you to get your math textbook out on your desk, you'll need to do that. So if you need to pause the video and go do that. Okay, this is actually the last topic in our math textbook. Doesn't mean we'll be done with math when we're done with this topic, but we'll have gone through all of them in the textbook. And so today I'm going to ask you to turn to page 482. So if you need to pause the video to do that. On page 482, you can see that what we're working on is we're working on converting different units of length. Okay? And what we're going to work on today is using what we call customary units. That's what we use mostly here in the United States. Most of the rest of the world, they don't use these things. They use the metric system. We will look at the metric system too. But today, if you look at that box about halfway down the page on 482, you see a box that's titled Customary Units of Length. And you see that 1 foot, about that long, equals 12 inches. And that 1 yard, you football fans know about yards, equals 3 feet. And if there's 3 feet in the yard and there's 12 inches in each foot, then that would mean that there would be 36 inches in a yard. And then you have miles, which shows you that there's a 1,760 yards in a mile and 5,280 feet in a mile. We need that chart as we go through today's unit. And so if you look over at your Do You Know How on 483, first question, number 3, says 2 miles equals how many yards? Well, you could, now let's see, how many yards? 1,760. That's how many yards are in 1 mile. Well, what I could do is, since it's just 2 miles, is I could add that number twice. But really, we want to get in the habit of, on each of these problems, multiplying. So if there's 1,760 yards in a mile, and I need 2 of them, I'm going to multiply by 2. I'll let you go ahead and pause the video to figure that out. Okay, and so what you should have come up with was 3,520. Okay, so down below, it's the same thing. I have 2/3 of a yard, and I want to know how many feet that is. So I said we're going to multiply. So what are you going to multiply this time? Well, how many feet are in 1 yard? 3. I'll let you pause the video to figure that out. 2 times 3 is 6 over 3. 6 divided by 3, and we get 2 feet. So 2/3 of a yard is actually less than a yard, right? Which is why we have less than 3 feet. Okay? And so this is what you're working on today. You're really just multiplying these things out. And down below, you have things like 6 inches. Is that greater than, less than 6 feet? And hopefully these come to you pretty easily. You should know that 6 feet is going to be greater. Then it gets a little bit trickier, though, on the next one. 2 yards. Is that greater than or less than 7 feet? Well, I need to be thinking here. How many feet are in a yard? 3. 2 times 3 would mean that this is equivalent to 6 feet. So 7 feet is actually greater. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to pause the video, and I'd like you to finish problems 7 through 11. Then, when you finish with those, you can unpause the video, and I'll go over the answers with you. So please pause the video, complete those problems, and then we'll see how you did. All right. Number 7, you should have found that 4 yards is greater than 100 inches. On number 8, you should have found that 8 yards is equal to 288 inches. On number 9, you should have found that 28 yards is equal to 84 feet. And number 10, you should have found that 18 feet is equivalent to 216 inches. And on number 11, you should have found that 7 miles equals 12,320 yards. Okay? Now, if you missed any of those, you need to go back and look and see if you can't figure out what your mistake was. If you got all those right, then your job is to move on to your homework assignment, which is in your homework book. I'd like you to go ahead and complete 163 and 164 all. Okay? If you finish, your sub has extra instructions. I'm not going to have you get it checked off, but I can maybe check it off when I get back here this afternoon. So this is your assignment. Good luck. I'm sure your sub can help you if you have questions, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.